Um, Actually, as Nadia said, I'll talk about the virtual mobility from point of view, from different levels. I'll be focused on strategies and requirements for virtual mobility. Therefore, this talk it will be about defining the term virtual mobility, taking the virtual mobility from the activities point of view, requirements, significance, and practical use. Virtual mobility means, in fact, here I have three different definitions for virtual mobility term that the first one is about making use of information and communication technologies, supported environment in order to attain benefits as the same as one would have with physical mobility, but without the need to travel. This is the first one. The second one is about the collaborative communication between two or more faculty members with their peer through computer under the conditions of crossing national borders. The third one, which is in terms about our project, Media to IH, it's used instead of the concept internationalization at home. So it provides an international dimension for large majority of students who don't go abroad for study or placement. A learning environment that has been created for non-mobile students in order either to acquire a better understanding for people from different countries, or as Dorsaf says, different cultures, increase their knowledge of their way of living and respect it. After that, the virtual mobility activities, in fact, the virtual mobility activities can be subdivided into several categories, making use of different parameters, and there is no generally accepted set of categories. In fact, the use of virtualization is one parameter that is used to categorize activities, totally virtual, partially, dual or mixed virtual. So we could focus on the virtual components of activities as independent of the degree to which activities are virtualized. For each activity, you can mention the degree of inherent virtualization. The use technology can be considered also as another parameter for categorization, such as the possible use tools. Mention the use technologies either change or increase every day. The use teaching and or learning scenarios is another distinction between activities. These kinds of topologies focus on very strongly on pedagogical aspects. Therefore, the topology of virtual mobility activities should focus mainly on conditions, environment of the virtual mobility activities. Therefore, those virtual activities could be defined into or taken into with three different points of views. A virtual course as part of a program or seminar. So this could be considered as a single course or seminar can be dealt with in the same manner. There are few differences in either the use and purpose of each. These categories focus on the framework of the higher education institute itself, especially on the virtual course seminar as part of the whole study program. The second one is about the whole program. The whole program could take the students have the chance to have a virtual study program at higher education institution without going abroad for a whole academic year, or as a best practice, the European Masters in Comparative Studies. The third one is the virtual placement for students. For the virtual placement for students, in fact, it's organized between two or more different institutions in different countries. As a best practice, business students, due to increasingly impact of the economy, Many business colleges offer the international experience and the placement opportunity for business students. Also, ICT support is also available for whom that facing difficulties to reallocate to another country for a certain period of time, such as the visa limitations. Practical preparation is to provide for new way of working, such as the use of video conferencing, collaborative workspace from the ICT tools. Also, virtual placement and companies, which could be either collaborative or assisted in internationalization for offered courses in the educational institution. Finally, the support activities. For the support activities, in order to prepare and follow up students, virtual mobility open up possibilities such as student selection completed via the ICT tools, either video conferencing or web conferencing. It allows the teaching staff to observe the candidates from both of the social and language skills. Furthermore, any need a preparatory language and cultural integration course could be provided by the host institution. Students can also remain in touch with their colleagues, travel around the world, and then finish their final year project or research work. Therefore, the need of establish a virtual alumni organization for as a kind of lifelong friendship and networks is a must. Therefore, the virtual course as a part of program or seminar can be divided or arranged into two main categories, the collaborative one and non-collaborative. For the collaborative course of a study or seminar of the awarding institution will be provided by a partner in another country. Therefore, we have either joint developing or delivering a course or enriching the course materials. For the joint developing a course, institution can broaden their expertise in that domain or the resources offered to the students. For enriching the course material, it's difficult for a single institution to achieve collaboration in course design, subsequent student support services. Therefore, in the non-collaborative part, the higher education institution or organization is leading to the work. So all communication goes through the lead organization. It includes branch campuses, offshore institutions, and international institutions. Also, a partnership is involved either for the distribution of the course or for adjusting the content to the local culture and language. After that, the technology used. For the technology used, the virtual learning environment should be set up and prepared very well. As Fabio says, it should be set up very well, either platform or discussion forums, emails and chat, individual correspondence, video conference sessions, grouping, team pairing, presentations. For the specific experiences, it will be taken from different point of views, as Joseph says, from the language point of view, culture point of view, the assessment point of view. For the language point of view, the courses could be categorized by solo language or multi-language. Students have the choice to choose their preferable languages, either from in the syllabus, material, or the group work. From the culture point of view, culture differences should be taken into consideration. They should be overcome. Thus, both students and teachers were offered a most rewarding culture experience. From the assessment point of view, the students were assessed from the teachers at his or her own university, or non-involvement in the assessment of students at the partner universities. So these are some requirements for the virtual mobilities. For the communication point of view, the virtual learning environment could be synchronous or asynchronous. From the local or the location, it could be independent or dependent. The working groups anywhere, anytime. The need are only PC, tab, smartphones, internet connections. From the dependent point of view, it could be set up over video conferencing or specific classroom assigned. For the virtual or the type of material, which could be virtual or blended. So, as a significance for virtual mobility, we have 5 different significance could be taken into consideration as a significant skills or a competences skills for the students or the teachers. The first one is the student competence skills. We will focus on building skills that ensure competitiveness, mobility, professionalism. From the students' competence skills, or from the other one, the employment and students' needs. The students and employment needs, such as meet the requirements by offering a program with either flexibility, variability, or adaptability. From the educational program point of view, offer programs that will ensure continuity, compatibility, accessibility, or cover the education, all the educational levels throughout different studies, different learning levels, different professional training programs, or non-degree educational programs. Finally, the virtual learning technologies, which needs to maintain an appropriate education environment, adaptable material that will meet the students' requirements for both educational and training, open environment for both of students and teachers, either the uploading or modifying options, accessible environments for the selected internet resources, either the audio or video and tasks. Thank you very much. Those are the list of some references I had making use in this talk. Thank you indeed. Thank you for your listening.